I was at $7 an hour, and now I'm about $107 an hour.
I do feel extremely well compensated.
I own properties. I own homes. I don't have to depend on anybody.
Not only did the IBEW give me a good life, but it gave me a sense of purpose.
Anyone's looking to getting into their trades, I stand at 5'5". I'm not going to tell you my weight, but it's average. If I can do it, you can do it.
Hey everybody, it's Hannah here. Just coming to you with a quick PSA about this video. We interviewed so many electricians at this conference, so to help you better navigate and search through all of them, we've added descriptive chapters in the description below. We've also grouped all the interviews by years of experience, starting with apprentices all the way to electricians with over 40 years of experience. We also grouped all the advice towards the end. You can use those descriptive chapters to find what you're looking for. And last but not least, if you're wondering if any of these electricians are lying or telling the truth, the internet is your friend and all this information is publicly available. You can go to IBEW.org or look up any IBEW union and their pay sheets to get the answers you're looking for. We hope you enjoy the video. Bye. This is Hannah Williams from Salary Transparent Street. Today we're in New Orleans, Louisiana at the IBEW International Women's Conference. Let's go ask some electricians what they do and how much they make. What do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician apprentice.
Very cool. How long have you been doing that?
2 years now.
2 years. And did you have a background before? Did you break into it from something else?
Yeah, it's a career change for me. I have a degree in anthropology, and I was working as an archaeologist for 5 years. There were some things that I didn't really love about that job, so then I looked for something that would fit the bill of all the things that I wasn't so keen on, and moved into the trades as a good option, just because it's like a nice physical job. You get to do something, and then you get to see the fruits of your labor afterwards, if you will.
You get to go look up at it and be like, I did that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Where are you based?
Toronto, Ontario.
Very cool. Canadians. We love it. That's why you're so friendly. Do you remember how much you made when you started versus now? And can you compare that to when you were an archaeologist?
Yeah, so as an archaeologist, I ended up finishing that career at $27 an hour.
Okay.
At the beginning, I did a pre-apprenticeship, which was $17 an hour.
Okay,
I'm
not
first
bad.
term now, currently doing $20 an hour.
Nice.
It's of course 5-year plan, right? So once I become a full journey person, I'll be probably clearing $100K a year. So
For sure.
it
Yeah.
helps a lot, right?
What do you do for a living?
I am a IBEW electrician in Washington State.
Oh, nice. How long have you been doing that?
I've been with them for about 3 years now. I'm a fourth-year apprentice.
Very cool. How did you get involved in the IBEW and becoming an electrician?
I used to do HVAC residentially, and I did that for a few years, but I kind of maxed out my pay level and realized I wanted more challenging work with better benefits, so I found the IBEW and joined up.
I love it. Do you remember how much you made when you started and how much are you making now?
When I started, I came in with some hours. I believe I started around $24 an hour.
Nice.
Most apprentices with my very starting wages would have been about 18.
Nice.
So now where I'm at is I'm just about to become a journey worker. So I am making just over $50 an hour.
Oh my gosh, and you're literally not officially there yet, so the sky is the limit for you. That's amazing. Do you feel well compensated?
I do, yeah. The money is a big benefit, but also the health benefits are huge, not having to pay for insurance.
What do you do for a living?
I am a part of the IBEW Local 103 Electricians Union.
Very cool. How long have you been an electrician?
4 years now.
Very cool. How did you get involved in it?
I joined a pre-apprenticeship program, and I fell in love with the electrical aspect of it.
Nice. How did you find the pre-apprenticeship program? What were you doing before?
I was a surgical office coordinator, actually, and I always wanted to do something with my hands, and COVID happened, and I was like, let me look into that once more. And so locally, I used Google, and I found a pre-apprenticeship program, and I joined.
I love it.
Yeah.
How much were you making when you started versus now?
Oh, when I started, I was at about $20 an hour. Currently, my full wage with my benefits is $73.85.
An hour?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, where are you based?
Out of Boston, Massachusetts.
Nice, nice.
Yes.
Do you feel well compensated?
I do feel extremely well compensated.
It's a wage that most people wouldn't get paid in a lifetime, so I'm really grateful.
I am a union electrician with IBEW Local 103.
Love it. Where are you based?
We're based out of Boston.
Boston. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been an electrician?
This is actually my 4th year in the apprenticeship program.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Were you doing something before you went into the IBEW? What were you doing?
Yeah, I I was. So I worked in the fair trade nonprofit sector. So it's like a big switch. Yeah. I worked importing fair trade goods into the country and like popping them around into different fair trade stores.
We've got a lot of followers in nonprofits, so this is
Yeah.
interesting. How much do you make as an electrician? Do you remember what you started at and how much you're making now?
Yeah, so when I started, I was making, I think, $21 an hour.
Nice.
And now with my total benefits package, I make $77.55 an hour.
Holy moly.
And that's only 60% of what I will be making when I become a journey person.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do you feel well compensated?
I do, yeah. Yeah, the compensation is great, the benefits are great, the education is phenomenal. I mean, coming from a place of working like in an office and like having, collegiate level education, the education that you get through the JATC training program is totally comparable.
Phenomenal.
It's the other 4-year degree.
What do you do for a living?
I am an apprentice for Inside Wireman out of Local 332.
Very cool. Where's that located?
It's in Santa Clara, California, like south of the Bay Area,
Cool.
but technically still a Bay Area.
I'm hoping for high wages here because I know how expensive that is. How long have you been in the apprenticeship program?
I am on my 5th year.
5th year. Cool.
Yes, I'm on my 85% period, so it has been. I'm almost there.
You're almost
I
there.
am like going to be taking my state cert fairly soon. Yeah, so
Amazing.
I'm going to be studying.
Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed. Please pray for me.
That's so exciting.
But yeah.
Do you remember how much you made when you started and then how much you're making now or how much you're going to make when you graduate?
Yeah, let me actually check really quickly.
She's getting exact.
Okay, so when I first started, it was 32.
32.
It was
Cool.
32 as a first year, not knowing anything, not having any kind of experience. Now,
Yeah, now.
when you first start, you make 39.23.
Nice.
And for me, as an 85% 5th year, I'm making 74.09.
Wow.
So like
and that's
my
your base rate.
that's my base rate. So my total package is 117.55 an hour.
Mic
yeah.
drop.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I'm very blessed to be in the local I am. I'm very lucky. I appreciate everything that I am able to get with like all of the benefits, our health insurance, which is huge in America, especially as a woman when it comes to like creating a family and having all that to not have to stress about. So
I've heard it's competitive to get into trades sometimes.
Yes.
How has that experience
Yes.
been? Any advice, for people who want to get in and can get past that competitive,
Yeah.
what are the barriers?
oh my gosh, it is very competitive. I would say a little biased in regards to our local is also we're like one of the top 2, if not the top best paying in the U.S. So it is competitive, but I would just like recommend and like just push that, like, don't give up, keep trying. It took for me at least a lot of convincing to even apply. My husband, luckily, bless his soul, he convinced me to apply with him, and I was like, no, I'm a girl. Like, I didn't see that representation when you see it in like movies, or you see like you talk to people that are in the trade. It was suggested for my husband to apply, but not like at the same conversation as I'm there, So I was like, no, like I don't think that's like gonna be okay. He's like, no, like try. Like if I can do it, I have no experience either. All you can do, like all they can say is no. Like just try and just put it out there. And so we both applied. We went through the apprentice through the like cycles of like doing your tests and getting interviewed and then waiting to hear back. He immediately got in, and I it's so competitive. I hit like the 80 percentile, so I was like in the 200s of the list. So I was like, no, see, like it wasn't meant to be. But after a year, I got to re-interview, and he was on it. He was like checking the calendar before me. He's like, you have one more week until you're able to. Yes, he was like, try again, just try again. And I already knew what to expect. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to give it one more try, and like God will do his work. And if it's meant to be, it'll be. And yeah, I got in right after that. Like a week later, I heard back that I was going to be in the next class.
What do you do for a living?
I am a journeyman inside wireman.
Wonderful. How long have you been doing that?
About 5.5 years now. I recently journeyed out.
Nice.
So I'm now a journeyman, but my program was it was 5 years.
5 years. So you were in the apprenticeship and now you're officially journeyman electrician. Did I say that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Where are you based?
I'm based out of Los Angeles. I'm from Local 11.
Oh, West Coast. Love it. Do you remember how much you were making when you started versus now?
I was making $18.63 as a 40%er at the time, 2018.
Ooh, how has that grown? How much are you making now?
I am currently making $63 an hour. That is my hourly. I believe the total package is around $100 an hour. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So your benefits are added on top of your hourly wage?
Yes.
Oh man, yes. Do you feel well compensated?
I do. I absolutely do. The work is rewarding and the pay is as rewarding.
What made you want to join the IBEW and be an electrician?
I was looking for a career that I could retire from, a career that was fruitful, that I could be proud of. And I was used to kind of working like dead-end jobs, like, where I didn't have a pension. And I was really at a point in my life where I wanted a career. Yeah. And so I actually came through a pre-apprenticeship course. And that course, at the time, it gave me an overview of all the building trades. The electrical trades spoke to me, yes, along with the pay rate. It screamed to me, right? And yeah, I got involved with a couple of groups, Second Call, EWMC actually, before I got into the apprenticeship, just networking with the people that were a part of the membership. I met some really great people, and from there, I was able to get in, and the rest is history.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a journeyman lineman.
Very cool. How long have you been doing that?
I finished my apprenticeship in April of 2021, so I've been a journeyman for just over 3 years.
Nice. How did you get involved in, electrician work and the IBEW? What got you into it?
So my mom actually worked for a utility down in Southern California. And so I really just knew about groundmen and stuff like that. And then I started paying attention more in high school and saw the guys working up on the power lines, climbing in bucket trucks, stuff like that. And I was like, I want to do the cool stuff. Let's do that. I went into line school in 2013 in East LA and just fell in love with the work and doing something that not very many people in general would even think about doing.
And where are you based?
So my home is not where I'm working right now, but I live in North Idaho.
Nice, Idaho.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then I currently work in Tri-Cities, Washington.
Do you remember how much you were making when you started versus how much you're making now?
I think I was somewhere right around 30, maybe high 20s an hour as an apprentice.
Yeah.
And now as a journeyman, I make just over $64 an hour.
Nice. And that's your wage rate. That's not including all your benefits?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. Tell me about the benefits.
So the benefits are awesome. We have an annuity and a pension. The pension is 3% per year that we don't have to invest at all. It's done for us. Our annuity is just over $14 an hour, so it's like 22.5%. That also is put in for us. We have an HRA account. The employer puts in $1 per every hour that you work.
Nice.
And it's not taxed, and you can use that money towards any medical bills. Your actual medical is phenomenal, and I've definitely used it.
We interview, a lot of corporate workers, and when they tell us their salaries, I'm like, okay, that's your total, but all your benefits come out of that. So this is a total different situation. It's wonderful. Do you feel well compensated?
Oh, very much so. Before I got into the trade, I loved what I did.
What were you doing?
I was a vet tech, actually,
cool.
and animals are my passion, but in order to be able to buy a house and not have to rely on anybody else, getting into a trade in general, but for me, line work, you can't top it.
Django.
Hi, Django.
Good morning.
Django.
He's like, what is going on?
What is happening?
I'm an IBEW Local 134 Journeyman Wireman.
Awesome. How long have you been an electrician?
7 years. So I started off as through the trainee program, so kind of getting your feet wet, material handling, and then took the aptitude test at our apprenticeship training facility located in Alsip, Illinois.
Okay.
And I went ahead and got into my first year apprenticeship in 2017.
2017. Nice. And where are you based?
Chicago, Illinois. So local 134. Woo woo.
We love it.
Yeah.
And how much are you making? Do you remember what you started at versus how much you're making now?
So what I started at, I believe as a trainee, first starting out, it was $13 an hour, right? I know that rate has since changed. Obviously, as an apprentice, I believe first year apprentice, they're probably around 20 something an hour.
Okay.
But right now, I'm actually gonna look at my phone. Yeah, we're gonna pull it out. IBEW A card right now for local 134 is standing at $99.39. We take our wage rate is $55.55. For C cards, the total package is $83.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And
an hour.
So your wage rate there is let's see, we got $49.86. So
goodness.
either way, that whole package, I mean, healthcare, pension, you
can make it work.
You can make it work. House, vacations, new car. Anyone's looking to getting into the trades, I stand at 5'5". I'm not gonna tell you my weight, but it's average. If I can do it, you can do it.
All right. What do you do for a living?
I am an electrician, Journeyman Wireman out of Boston, Local 103.
How long have you been doing it?
10 years.
10 years.
10
nice.
years.
And do you remember how much you were making when you started versus now?
So I believe when I was a first year apprentice, I think it was around $17 an hour, maybe 16 or 17. And right now, our package is about $120 an hour. But we're getting about over $63 an hour with taking out the benefits and everything, yeah.
That's my favorite thing about trades is that the benefits are on top, not deducted from.
Exactly.
Do you feel well compensated?
Oh, yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician.
How long have you been an electrician?
10 years, 5 years in the apprenticeship and 5 years out in the work area.
Nice. Where are you based?
Los Angeles.
Do you remember how much you made when you started versus now?
Probably a fraction. So right now, journeyman working 40 hours a week with all of our benefit package. We have an annuity, we have a pension. Not very many places have pension anymore. It's close to about $120,000 a year.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you feel well compensated?
Very much so. And not only that, I mean, you have insurance that's that's paid for by the contractors and the local union. So the benefits are amazing. A single mom can have her family and support them and be able to take her vacations.
I am an electrical worker for the IBEW. I am the organizer for local union 995 here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Wonderful. How long have you been an electrician?
I've been an electrician for about 10 years, organizer for about a year and a half now.
Nice. How did you get involved in this trade?
Be honest with you, Google. Straight out of high school, I was just looking for something that wasn't college and it wasn't just working in a fast food restaurant. I was looking for something I could do with my hands that I could learn and make a career out of.
Do you remember how much you made when you started versus now?
Yes. So when I first started, we were making $13 an hour. I currently make just under 30 right now, currently.
Do you feel well compensated?
We could always make more, but yes, for what we do, it's a good starting point. Not only do we get the wage on the checks, but we get health insurance and pension plans, and it gives us and our families a peace of mind.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician.
Electrician. How long have you been doing that?
About 22 years.
Wow. And do you remember how much you made when you started versus now?
I was at $7 an hour, and now I'm about $107 an hour.
107?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Where are you based?
Boston.
Boston.
Yes.
And do you feel well compensated?
Absolutely. I'm a union electrician. That's the difference.
Heck yeah. What are some of those benefits you get from being in the IBEW?
The benefits are amazing. The benefits I get is my health care benefits. I am the provider of my family, so my children have the top of the line, everything. The benefits of being in IBEW, my brotherhood, my sisterhood, the solidarity, being in community with each other.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a union electrician for the IBEW.
And how long have you been in the IBEW and an electrician as a whole?
25 years.
25, nice.
Yep.
How did you get into being an electrician or the IBEW? Did you see somebody and want to, do that after seeing what they did? How'd you get involved?
Actually, I was going to school for camera work, and my friend kind of tricked me. She said, oh, everyone likes to play with wires, and she knew somebody in the IBEW. And I showed up one day with my job ticket, and it was a construction site, and I called her, and I said, it's a construction site, and she said, just try it. I think you'll like it. And from the moment my boots hit the job, I just fell in love with it.
How much do you make in your role, and do you remember how much you made when you started versus now?
So when I started, I was making $10 an hour, and now I make $64 an hour plus my pension, which is probably another $60.
I love that. Do you feel well compensated?
I really do.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an electrician with the IBEW. I have been in the industry for 27 years.
Nice. How did you get involved in the industry and the trade to start?
It's funny, I took an aptitude test in high school and it came back that I'm very mechanical. And I had a family member who was in the trade and encouraged me to look into it, and that's kind of how my journey started.
How much were you making when you started, if you remember, and how much are you making now?
It's funny, I believe on my check I was making $11 an hour. Currently I make $96 an hour for total package.
Nice. And where are you based?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Wonderful. Do you feel well compensated?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are some of those benefits that come into the total compensation?
3 separate pensions, health care, annuity, able to take additional schooling through the program.
What do you do for a living?
I am the membership development and political coordinator for Local 915 in Tampa, Florida.
Nice. How long have you been doing that?
Just under a year.
Nice.
So.
And is your background in electrician work?
Yes, so I had 23 years as a journeyman, inside Journeyman Wireman in Local 915 prior to that.
Wonderful. Do you remember how much you made when you started as a journeyman and how much you make now?
So as a first-year apprentice, I made $9.18 an hour, and currently my scale is $38.56.
Nice.
So.
Do you feel well compensated?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wonderful. What are some of those benefits that you get with your pay? Health insurance, pension, things like that?
Yeah, so our total package brings us up to $56.06 an hour.
Nice.
So we get an additional 24% into our health and welfare. We get 11% into our pension. We get a 4% vacation fund.
Nice.
Yeah, so we get a couple of cool little things in there, a couple of really awesome perks.
Wonderful. And so you've kind of moved more into like a leadership role now.
Yes.
How has that transition been?
It's been very, very rewarding. I love being able to go out and to reach younger members and share my experience of what the IBEW has been able to do for me. I've been able to buy a house. I own 2 vehicles. I have a motorcycle.
The dream.
Yeah, it's just, and I don't have any debt. So you can't ask for much more than that. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without this career. I went to school. Prior to this, I wanted to teach 8th grade American history, and that just didn't pan out for me. And my dad said, well, you can come. He's an electrician. He's like, you can come join us. And it's been the best decision I ever made.
What do you do for a living?
I am an inside journeyman wireman out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Nice. How long have you been doing that?
Pushing 29 years.
Do you remember how much you made when you started versus how much you're making now?
When I started, I believe we were at like $16 an hour.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
And how has that grown over time?
We are at $39.42 plus benefits,
Wonderful.
at retirement insurance and all that.
So I'm a journeyman inside wireman
Nice.
with IBEW Local 354. But I currently am working with some apprentice readiness and pre-apprenticeship programs to get a more diverse workforce out there in this industry.
How long have you been doing this?
As an electrician, I've been an electrician for 28 years.
28 years. And how long have you been working in the apprenticeship programs?
I was working with the apprenticeship program in my local for about 4.5 years, and I've been working with the apprentice readiness stuff for about a year now.
Very cool. Do you remember what your rate was when you started in the IBEW and how much you're making now?
So when I started as a first-year apprentice, the rate was $7.14 an hour.
Yeah.
Now,
where were you based?
In Utah.
Utah, okay.
And now the starting wages is like almost $22 an hour.
Love that. Do you feel well compensated at that bump?
I do. I've been lucky to have really great mentors throughout my career. So I've been able to step into a lot of leadership roles.
Yeah.
And I've been the assistant business manager of our local. So with all of that comes more money than just the journeyman wage. It's the benefits too. So it's not just the wage. Now the journeyman wage is $41.23 an hour, I think. Off the top of my head, there was just a recent contract. So
there's always raises.
Yeah, there's always
There's always a good raise.
But the great thing is the benefits are not deducted from that. So our health care, our retirement benefits, they're all on top of those wages. So you don't have to deduct any of that.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a journeyman lineman foreman out in Nevada for the IBEW.
Nice. How long have you been doing that?
A little over 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in it?
My family's been in the IBEW, and I like to work hard with my body and my brain. And so I'm generational.
Nice.
And kind of a trailblazer, one of the first female linemen in the country.
I love that. Oh my gosh. How has your experience been as one of the first females? I know there's a lot of gender discrimination in the trades and not a lot of representation. How has that changed over time, and what would you recommend for women coming in?
Actually, women work harder and faster than men, and they appreciate it. You just build relationships. You build relationships in the workforce, you build relationships in the IBEW. You build relationships at the negotiating table. So it's all about relationships. And I think that, this day and age is a lot different.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. I love to mentor young people. I love to help people get into the trades. It's the best trade in the world.
Do you remember how much you were making when you started versus now, and what are some of those benefits you get too?
I do. I'm just kind of telling my age, I guess. I think I started at $7.95 as a groundman, and I make $68.49. I'm a crew lead foreman. And the benefits of the IBEW, I'm an independent woman. I own properties, I own homes. I don't have to depend on anybody. I make a good wage. My benefits are amazing. I'm getting close to retirement, and I'll be able to retire comfortably, right? With dignity and respect.
How has that experience been being a woman in the trades?
I can't speak to the other trades, but you are supported and you are wanted because women offer a different perspective. We see things differently, we do things differently, we work differently with one another, and honestly, I think our communication style is a little bit better. But yeah, the support is there, and you will be welcomed. You always face some adversity, but that's no different than any other job that you face, because women are rising in all career fields.
Being the third generation of women allowed in the trades, which is important to know. This is a male-dominated industry since the beginning of time, and we are only the third generation allowed in. So there's obviously going to be adversities, there's obviously going to be trouble, but it's getting better every day. And with this support and everything else through our locals, it's worth it for any girl that's interested.
99% of my jobs that I was on when I was in the field were jobs that I was accepted on. I'm not going to tell you there isn't the 1% outliers that make life difficult for everybody. But again, you show up, you're on time, you stay off your phone, you work hard. You're going to be respected for those things.
What advice would you share with, young women who are thinking college or a trade, or, women who are considering changing careers, maybe from education into a trade? What would you tell them? Words of encouragement, words of advice?
So I think that college is right for some, but the trades should not be ignored. This is a fantastic opportunity for a lot of women. I know that a lot of times we get scared because the job maybe seems overwhelming, that they can't physically do it, or maybe they don't have the mental ability to do it, but they do. They just have to believe in themselves, come out, and we'll show you how to get it done.
I went to college before. I'm a psychology major. I have about 15 to 20 girlfriends that I'm constantly in contact with. And out of those 15, 20 girls, I'm the only one that bought a house on my own, paid off my student loans first, and the only person that makes more money than me is a PA, but she still got the student loans. In a way, leaving my career, taking those 5 years to step back for a minute, only allowed me to get ahead.
So I was college bound, but I lost all opportunity at a scholarship. My father was terminally ill, so I got into the trades completely by accident, and I would have, now when I think about it, if I would have gone the college route, I don't know that I would have picked the right career. So going to the trade route gave me a sense of who I really am today. And now if I go, to go back to college after you kind of figure that stuff out, makes it more valuable. But it's not really necessary unless you want it in your next career step within the trades, because there's so much to the industry.
I would say don't rush yourself. Take a little bit of time, maybe do some different outreach programs with other construction industries if that's something that you have any inkling to do. And I would just say don't give up.
It's an advancement into your future without the debt of college. So I'd say go for it. Don't be scared. You got this.
What advice would you share with women who are, nervous about taking that step back, quote unquote, going back to an apprenticeship after they've already done the degree, after they've already gone into their careers? Any words of encouragement?
Well, I'll say right now that there's never too late to join, ever. I mean, when I was an apprentice, I had men that were in their 50s that were in my apprenticeship class. And this is something that I never dreamed of doing. I never wanted to be in construction. I never even thought of the idea, entertained it. But once you get into it and you realize what you're capable of and you realize the support, if you have it on the jobs, I mean, it actually motivates you to keep going, because you're like, wow, look up, I did that. Like, let's go tomorrow. Let's see what else I can build. Let's see what the next challenge is. So if you're a go-getter and you got some thick skin, because you're going to need thick skin in construction, I think this would be a perfect avenue for you.
Change is growth. Change is growth is the first thing I'd say. I'd also want to welcome, if I can go ahead and say this too, is veterans, because I used to be a veteran, and we have a VEEP program, which they'll start with you 6 months before you're ready to exit the military, and they'll start training you for a career. So you're ending one and you're beginning another one. So I recommend everybody, and especially females, we want you. We want you in here. Females and males, especially with that military training, we want you here. We want you here.
Women and young people can do anything. Right? We need to show them that they can do anything.
What advice would you share with others who are thinking about joining a trade or becoming an electrician? What's worked for you to help them?
There's no better field, in my opinion, if you like working with your hands, to get into the trades. It's certainly not for everyone, but it's a great job. And if you're going to get into a job that has the option for union, you have to go union.
We are built for this. Whoever told you that you can't do it, it's a lie from the pit of hell. We could do all things. I owe everything I have, for my family, because of my local and because of my union, and I'm proud.
I would say go for it. The IBEW is a sure ticket into the middle class. Very young age, you could attain 6 figures easily, and you're learning while you're working, like you're earning and learning.
If you find satisfaction in doing a project and completing it and doing it well and doing it safely, then I think that you should really consider the trades, because it is a path to the middle class. It's like direct training, direct pay, and you're valued for what you do.
It's not about what you know first off. It's about being eager to learn, being eager to figure it out and to grow as a community. It's not just you out there, guys. You're working with a team.
Stay committed, because it is very difficult to get in, but once you're in, you are a part of a family that will not let you fail. Networking is a huge part of getting the opportunity to get in. Just volunteering, offering your time, and showing just how committed you are to changing your lives and those around you.
I just think of like how it's changed my life, and I would have never done it unless somebody kind of pushed me into it. So give yourself a chance, Not only did the IBEW give me a good life, but it gave me a sense of purpose in the labor movement. And, I won't remember the paychecks that I made along the way, but I'm going to remember the people I made along the way. So go union.
This is your push. If you're watching, definitely give it a chance.
Do it.
So when you guys finish up, you guys can come join too. We'll take you guys in too.
All right, so come on out there. I challenge you all right here. IBEW Local 11, Los Angeles. Bye.